What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Take a Time Out, episode number 45. Donovan Mitchell number. That's what it is. Donovan Mitchell number. Yeah, we got special guests here today. So Josh Davis, he's joining us for this week, subbing in for Kyler. So glad that he's with us, man. This is gonna be fun. Yeah. So the Super Bowl went down. Everybody's got opinions, man. Everybody's got them. The only thing we're gonna do this week is winners and losers. Back to what we were doing during the regular season. Your biggest winner and your biggest loser from this week. And I'll start. Mine are a little different. I'm not going to go with the, winners Patrick Mahomes, losers the Niners. I'm going to go with my biggest winner is Tony Romo. I like that. Hey, it might sound controversial, man. I thought he announced a good game. I really did. I thought this was the best Romo's looked since right when he came out of retirement, right when he retired. Like he was like in his bag trying to do his best Greg Olsen impression, and I thought he did pretty good. For me personally, it was a good performance. It was a boring game to start, and yes, he was singing Adele going in the commercial break a couple times and had me like, okay, but it's a hard game to announce when it's that boring at the beginning. We were all thinking the same thing, so that's my biggest winner. My biggest loser would be Kyle Shanahan. This is a big talking point. I've seen it on ESPN. I've seen it on multiple things. Just the overtime decision. There's a lot that goes into it, but with the new rules, it falls on, a decision that your defense is probably tired. I get it, but you just got to kind of coach a different game when you're playing one of the best quarterbacks of all time in Patrick Mahomes. So if I had to pick a loser, it would be him. But I talked about going in the week how much I wanted to see him get one. And now he's sitting here at one of my losers. What y'all got?
All right, so my biggest loser, and it's very unfortunate, it's going to be Dre Greenlaw. I know we saw him getting pumped up to head onto the field and tore his Achilles. Just very unfortunate. Also, another loser I have is Brandon Ayuk. I felt like a lot through the season he stepped up, and to only get 3 catches and in like the biggest game, it's wild to me. And he was frustrated after, going off on "I got you here." If you guys saw that on Instagram, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Biggest winner, I'd say the NFL as a whole, if you want to say it's scripted or not, had the most viewership. Helps when you have the Swifties there and stuff like that. But I think that's exactly what the NFL wanted is, the chance for the Chiefs to three-peat, and going into next season, having Taylor Swift by your side, it's just going to raise viewership and stuff like that. So I think the NFL won this one.
My biggest winner from this week is Patrick Mahomes because with now his 3rd Super Bowl, that solidifies himself in the GOAT conversation. And even though he might be like probably 4 or 5 right now, he's still in that conversation. My biggest loser, like Dom said, has to be Kyle Shanahan. This is, 3 or 4 Super Bowls now that you have choked the game away. On top of that, they abandoned the run, and they did a pretty good job for the most part controlling the game in the first half. But that second half, the time of possession in total was San Fran 38 minutes, and then KC had 36 minutes. And I said before the game, if they're going to win that game, they have to control the clock. And beating them by 2 minutes in time of possession, it just didn't go their way. And then when it goes to OT, as the head coach, like you already mentioned, you have to know, your players have to know what to do in that situation.
They literally said after the game they didn't know what the rules were.
Yeah.
And, when you're in that situation, you never want the ball first, ever.
Yep. Yeah, and then Kyle Juszczyk tried to go back at what he said and kind of defend his coach, but he just said naturally how he was feeling and what really happened after the game, and obviously that was his true emotion. They didn't know the rules, and that's nuts to me. That's crazy. You got any winners or losers, Josh?
Well, James took my biggest loser because Dre Greenlaw
That is a
tripping
loss,
over
man.
the sideline, tearing his Achilles. While it's a horrible, horrible act, it's still funny. I don't care.
Yeah, it is.
So I think the single biggest loser of the Super Bowl is obviously Darrell Luter, whose back heel got in the way of that punt.
Oh,
because that got Kansas City back in the game. That game was over. That game was over at the start. Kansas City had nothing. They had no answers for San Francisco's defense. And the second half started, and they still didn't have any answers. And if it weren't for that back heel kick to Ray McLeod, which I really honestly wanted that to be Ray McLeod's punt fumble because I hate that guy, but that's I'm a bitter Steelers fan. But yeah, Darrell Luter. I mean, I think the kid's a rookie, so like, what a horrible experience.
That is.
So unfortunate. Biggest winner is Travis Kelce, guys. He went home with Taylor Swift that night. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he was pretty excited.
Yeah.
So I think it's obviously Travis Kelce's the biggest winner.
Yeah, he definitely took the biggest dub for sure.
And he had a really big play at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But Dre Greenlaw got hurt. They had him shut down. I mean, he had 1 yard receiving in the first half. They had him shut down. If Dre Greenlaw, that's why he really should be the biggest loser, because I think that one injury probably cost him the Super Bowl because they had Kelce locked.
And honestly, I think it was hard for me to put Kyle Shanahan as a loser because of everything Josh just said and kind of Nate was talking about with like all the unfortunate things that happened to them, which it's part of football, it happens. But you talk about all that the punt and Dre Greenlaw getting hurt, but also like all that happened, and then it goes to overtime, and you gave the best quarterback in the league 5 quarters to warm up. Like, he wasn't getting going until that last quarter, but if you give somebody that good that long, like, it's unfortunate that it had to go to that point and get stretched out to that point. Like, there's so many things that go into football. Greg Olson talked about it a couple weeks ago with just the 1 second, the 1 yard, all that different things, and it's unfortunate, man. It sucks to be a Niners fan, but good thing none of us are. Nate really hates them, so.
Yep. I'm glad we kind of touched on, because one of the honorable mentions for my winners was the special teams, because for that first half, I mean, it's just that special teams was phenomenal on both sides. I felt like the punt coverages, the kicking, we were breaking records like left and right for kicking, and I'm like, I guess it's going to be a special teams game.
Special teams is always forgotten about in football, but if you look at that game, it was a blocked extra point.
Yep.
That was the only reason Kansas City could tie the game late in the game, when it didn't have to go for a touchdown. So, yeah, special teams always comes
It's my
up
real
big.
winner.
Yeah.
Your
So
real
Pat
winner?
McAfee was loving it.
I bet he was.
Yeah,
He
and
was.
one last thing is, like, it was 19-16, and the thoughts going through our head was if KC doesn't score here, we're looking at a Jawan Jennings Super Bowl MVP or a Jake Moody Super Bowl MVP. Like, this is just the most nuts things that were going through our
I
heads.
wanted Jennings to win it, though.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
wanted him to win.
But also the kicker was in it too. Like, it's just the unthinkable things of how that story was written for a second.
The punters were the real MVP.
Yeah. True. All right, man. So sticking on the Travis Kelce thing, it had me thinking with all the, dynasty talk with the Chiefs and all that. It had me thinking on my drive to work this morning, the Mount Rushmore. There's a lot of Mount Rushmores out there that people talk about, but the Mount Rushmore of NFL duos. And I'm talking here specific, not just specific to wide receiver quarterback. We can throw in tight end quarterback as well. I kind of threw this on you guys late, so I'll start with my list. Brady and Gronk on that Mount Rushmore for me. Montana and Rice. Mahomes and Kelce. And this last one was interesting to me, but I ended up going with Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison because they had a really good stretch for a while.
It could be Manning and Reggie Wayne as well.
Yeah. I just feel like Harrison's was a little longer and led to a couple more things, but that's my list. I don't know if you want to play off that or if you got your own, but that was mine.
I got the same first 3 as you. I didn't put Manning and Harrison on there. The last 2 aren't even on offense. I'm going Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. Defense carried them to 2 Super Bowls and kind of a unforgettable duo in my opinion.
Yeah, especially our age. It's like we always remember them dudes.
Yeah.
So I also had Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison, but then I went a little off script, and this is strictly based off of what they accomplished together. And I went with Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin, who has 3 Super Bowls between them.
I know you hate that, but
I know he probably
I
does.
thought about that one a little bit.
And then for me, Mahomes and Kelce and Brady and Gronk, simply because we were alive to actually witness that greatness.
Is that why I'm here to bring up the old school shit?
Yeah.
With no Bradshaw, Lynn Swan,
Yeah,
none of that
I was
old
looking through
shit.
them and I saw the Terry Bradshaw one, and I saw the stats
Here's the
too.
problem. Okay, so you guys are younger, and I don't know who said it, but there's no way you were alive to watch the 2000 Super Bowl with Ray Lewis. So
Yeah, they beat my Giants. They beat my Giants.
They did, but it was before you were born.
I
So.
know.
But yeah, the thing is, football has evolved to a point where these lists are going to start being your generation.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, Bradshaw and Lynn Swan, you can look back. Like, that was a great duo. And when I was growing up, that was all the highlights you saw. I don't even know if you guys have seen Lynn Swan highlights. They're amazing. I mean, the catches that he made, but he finished his career with like 5,000 yards receiving, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Like, there's no way he would make the Hall of Fame today.
Right.
So these past duos, this list is going to change in the next 5 years. It'll be the next, whatever list. Kenny Pickett to George Pickens. I'm playing. So it's only going to continue to get better. So it's going to be Mahomes and whoever is his. And the problem is Kelsey's like 34. So who does he got next?
Right.
But you look ahead at what they could have next year. I mean, Mike Evans is a free agent. So you could be talking about a year like Brady and Randy Moss had, where they threw for 20 touchdowns and 1,800 yards and went undefeated in the regular season.
Yep.
So you put Mike Evans on with Pat Mahomes, they're going to make this list.
Yeah.
This list is going to evolve in the next 5 years, for
definitely.
sure. So, I mean, everything you got on your list there is 100% accurate. Yeah, it could be Manning and Wayne. It could be Manning and Harrison.
And it's all subjective and personal,
but
how you feel.
Right, but the old school players are all going to start getting phased out. It was my overall point. Like I said, Lynn Swan would never make the Hall of Fame today.
Right.
Which I don't know if you saw. You don't have it on your list, but the Hall of Fame candidates that just came out. Did you see Patrick Willis is going to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Yep.
The guy only played like 7 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he was a dog.
He was, but I'm just saying it's kind of amazing to me that he got in
It is,
to the Hall of Fame with that little time.
Yeah, he had a commercial and stuff, but yeah, it's all surprising. And like you said, man, like I was looking through a couple lists to kind of refresh my memory on the older ones, and they're slowly like moving, like you talked about, towards the 20s and the up in the 50s. Like
It's a different game.
yeah,
now.
it just completely starts to flip. So it was a good talking point. The last thing I had before we play a little another round of Jeopardy. The futures for next year are out on FanDuel, my favorite sports book, but not sponsored, so I'm not talking about too much. But
Not yet, at least.
yeah, not yet. So all the odds are out. So basically, give me your favorite for next year if you got one, and then any sneaky ones that you like. I got the Ravens as I put a heart emoji beside that as my favorite if I had to pick one. There's a couple sneaky ones on here that I would sprinkle some money on. Bengals at plus 1,500, Packers at plus 2,500. And this was before I knew Josh was coming. But I swear, I looked at that Steelers plus 10,000.
I saw the money bag next to it.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, they could have Justin Fields next year, and he could just be shooting flames.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, this was
Can we
the
talk
segue.
about
This
that?
was the segue right
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Because James said that I could talk Steelers, and I said, I'll fill up your whole damn podcast with Steelers. I don't know how I feel about getting Justin Fields. I honestly don't. The price tag that he's going to cost for what they could have, and we're talking the Steelers could get the top center in this draft and a top 3 tackle in the first 2 rounds, and their offensive line could be set. Here's the problem they have. Kenny Pickett's not it. We all know that. I'm only joking when I talk about it, but he's not it. But with Kenny Pickett, that team wins 10 games. I don't care because Tomlin will get them to 10 games. Tomlin is a great coach with a bad team. He's not a great coach when he has a great team. That's the problem with Tomlin. As Steelers fans, we break into 2 camps. You either love him or you hate him. But either way, we're going to win 10 games. Justin Fields has such horrible, horrible tape. The man had thrown an interception when the defense didn't even try to rush him. The man threw the ball off the back of his own lineman's helmet. He's thrown interceptions where he didn't have a wide receiver on that half of the field. Yeah. So I have serious questions on whether or not the guy can read the field, whether or not he can be an NFL quarterback. And when you're talking about giving up either that all-pro potential center or all-pro potential tackle to throw a guy on the roster, and then he's going to have to compete I mean, what happens if Kenny Pickett beats him out in
Mm-hmm.
preseason? I mean, seriously, right? Like,
no, I totally agree because he's not here, but our biggest Justin Fields believer in our friend group or whatever is Seth. And we've had this ongoing battle, me and James especially, just arguing that he's a top 15 quarterback. And, towards the end of the season, he was really like, people were starting to push that narrative. And my theory is the quarterback play ain't that great in this league right now anyways. But
it's not.
besides the point, I agree with you, man. I mean, me and James have been to the point with Fields where it's like, you got to prove a lot to me to get me to love you back. Like, yes, we love you because you went to Ohio State. But the simple fact is, like you talked about, his pocket presence. I watch him twice a year guaranteed when he plays the Vikings, and his pocket presence is horrible. He's panicking 24/7. Like, all the great quarterbacks talk about, you have this ongoing clock in your head that runs as a quarterback. And his is sped up 24/7, it seems like. And he's always trying to go for the big play, and it's tough. But then I also see a world where he figures it out under Tomlin, so I don't know. But I would veer on the side of getting your good O-line with my boy Warren sitting there in the backfield looking.
My point is, if they lock up the O-line and just say, screw it, we're going with Kenny, that's a 10-win team next year.
Yeah.
And then you can move on from Kenny. This is your year. You got no more excuses. The offensive coordinator's gone that was handicapping you. The offensive line is fixed. The Steelers' running game is going to be a top 10 running game next year. So there's no more excuses. And if you're not the guy, you're not the guy. They move on. They pick up Fields. If he has a middling year where he throws for 3,000 yards and 21 touchdowns and 14 interceptions, he's also going to be in his fifth year option year, which means now you have to make a decision. Are you picking up that fifth-year option and paying him $20 million when you're still not sure what he is and taking that chance? Do you lock him up to a long-term deal and make him a top 15 paid quarterback in the league? And why would he accept that if he had a good season? Like, I don't see a lot of wins for the Steelers by picking up Justin Fields. The only win, obviously, is if he comes there and he's great.
Yeah.
But he hasn't proven he can be great. Because, honestly, he's like a lesser version of Lamar for me. He's great when he runs the ball. That's when he's at his best. When he takes off and runs, he's at his best. But we all see what happens to Lamar. Lamar was great this year because he didn't get hurt. But where's Lamar been the last 3 years when you get to this time of the year? He's hurt every time. It's because he runs. As a Steelers fan, I don't know where I sit with that. Obviously, if we get him, I'm going to come in here and say, we're winning the freaking Super Bowl next year. But I honestly don't believe it. So I like your little bag of money, and I always throw a hundo on the Steelers to win the Super Bowl. So don't take betting advice from me. But I honestly, if we were giving advice, I would not bet the Steelers next year.
Yeah,
It's great odds, though.
They are great odds. That's why I'm going to throw 100 on it. But
I don't know if you guys got any that you like or anything else that's frisky. That Packers one, though, plus 2,500 is still sitting with me.
Chiefs sitting at 750 after
that's
the potential 3P in sight. I mean, that's really good value for a team that we just watched win the Super Bowl 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Next, Homer. But if you are going to bet an AFC team, bet an AFC team with a quarterback that has actually beat Mahomes in meaningful games. And I'm agreeing with you on the Bengals there. And then NFC-wise, and just because of the consistency of being good when we don't expect them to be, give me the Rams at plus 3,000 as well.
that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I like the Lions at plus 1,200 a lot. Sorry, Josh.
That was the one.
The reason I like the Lions so much is because we saw, once again, the Cowboys choking the playoffs. Who's the next biggest threat? The Eagles. Chokes. And I don't know what the Eagles are. And then the 49ers, I know they beat them, but the 49ers, I feel like, are about to explode after the Super Bowl. I see all the players, pretty pissed off, and the Lions want vengeance, and I think that team already has enough juice in them, and if you just give fuel to the fire, I like their chances. So other than that, sneaky team, I know we hate talking about them, Dom, but the Jets at plus 3,000, you don't know what this team could be with their defense. If Rodgers looks somewhat like himself, this was still a 7-win team with the worst quarterback in the league holding it down for them. So
They had Tim Boyle start a game for them.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like they were able to get 7 wins with that defense. So if they somehow put that offense together and he gets clicking with Garrett Wilson, I
So he
really
gets to play more than 4 plays.
yeah. So I mean,
that'd be
it
important.
depends what you're getting with Rodgers, because you never know
Yep.
with an injury like that.
I like the Lions. They should have been the representative in the NFC this year. I think Dan Campbell learned some very valuable lessons. The analytics don't always work in the playoffs. They can work in the regular season because you have another game next week. But, man, you get to the NFC title game, kick some field goals.
Yeah.
At least tie the game. So I like where they're at as a franchise. Man, that team is fast. They got so many weapons, and they're only going to get more.
Yep.
Jamison Williams didn't hardly play this year, and you saw what he did when he touches the ball. So I really like the Lions to represent the NFC. I do like the Packers as well. Sneaky play only because their coaching change, and that's the Chargers. Everybody falls in love with the Chargers every single year because they got Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert's a dog, but his coach has held him back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think getting Harbaugh in there that's going to run a more simplified system and let Herbert be a star, I think the Chargers legit could come out of nowhere next year. That would be who I'd throw some money on.
Don's been saying fire Staley for like 2 years
That's
straight.
terrible.
Yeah, but you fit right into this podcast because since episode 1, I've been saying Staley. Like that was like my hottest take of the year. It's not that hot of a take because most people know, but he was bad.
Well, he's the first coach that really embraced the analytics.
Yeah,
And analytics are great to a point.
Yeah.
Right.
But you cannot
right there
live
with
and
you.
die by the analytics. And that man went for 4th downs on his own 20-yard line and cost his team games. Like, he should have been fired 2 years ago. That was ridiculous. So I agree with Dom.
All right, well, that was a good segue to Jamison Williams. Led some controversy in our last Jeopardy on what number he really was. We're back, though, man, with some more Jeopardy. It was fun. It was fun that week, man. That was a good week. So Josh is with us this week to play Jeopardy. I'm going to try to redeem myself. I'm going to try to get my over-unders probably sitting at 200 points. It's probably my over-under.
You're trying to go undefeated.
Yeah, and you're trying to go undefeated, and he's going for his first title.
Hey, y'all are lucky there's no stadiums up there.
Yeah, there's no stadiums. We might be good. Might be good.
Let's get it set up here. This was handcrafted by me. All these questions are done by me, and put a lot of work into this, and I'm very proud. So I am. You guys are
It's
gonna.
beautiful. It is.
I'm
It's
just
the blue
gonna-
and the boxes. They really.
I'm just saying. I put a lot of thought in these questions. It's not like it's 100 question, but it's hard. No, like it progressively gets harder as we go down. We'll start with Nate on the right. The board is yours. Pick as you wish.
Let's start with random for 100.
All right. Ran for 100. Tyreek Hill plays this video game on his free time. His arch nemesis is Peely.
Probably Buzz.
I don't know what Tyreek Hill does in his spare time.
You don't know the answer?
His arch nemesis
like a
is
dead
Peely.
giveaway.
Hold up. If he gets this wrong, this is all time.
Oh, is this Fortnite?
It is
Yes,
Fortnite.
it
It is Fortnite.
Second. I was about to say Madden.
No, bro.
Oh,
They
shoot.
put himself back on the Chiefs, so he gets Mahomes.
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
Tua.
All right, Nate.
Let's go with Super Bowl winners, and let's go right in the middle, 300.
These 4 teams have never appeared in a Super Bowl.
So you have the Cleveland Browns, you have the Houston
Forever.
Texans. No, they made it. The Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm blanking on this last one.
Give a 10-second countdown.
Okay.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
I'm gonna throw a random name out there. We'll throw out the Chargers.
No.
Detroit Lions.
Well, it goes to the next person,
Oh, he knew the answer anyway.
Yeah, I knew
Okay.
the answer.
Okay.
As a side note, you know what my perfect Super Bowl was this year? would have been Houston versus Detroit, because that's 2 more teams that come off that list, and the Cleveland Browns stayed on it forever.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
That was my perfect Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Dang, how did I not think of the Lions?
All right, so we got Dom on the board. Board
All
is yours.
All right, give me random for 200.
This term is used when the final score has never happened before.
I'm overthinking it. Term is used when the final score has never happened before.
You know, Kyler would be punching air right now.
This is called a. I don't know, bro. It's not. This ain't
you have
it.
a guess?
This ain't it. But this was a talking point of the week. Everybody bet the octopus this week, and they were wrong.
It's
No
not an
octopus happened. That was a 2-point and a touchdown. That never happened.
All right, Josh.
It's a scoregami.
That is a scoregami.
See, I'm not the trivia guy. I like the number 100 though. That's my
All
favorite
right.
Better
number.
than negative 200, I can tell you that.
All right, Josh. The board is yours.
Let's go Super Bowl winners 200.
Okay. And I want to clarify with this category. They're not all Super Bowl winners. Like that last question wasn't Super Bowl winners, but some of them are.
Yeah, Super Bowl related.
So that's a
Super
dumb
Bowl.
title then.
I know. Maybe I'm not so proud of myself. This team won the very first Super Bowl in
Green
1967.
Bay Packers.
That is correct. Josh already go clear this board. I can guarantee it. All right.
Super Bowl winners for 100.
This team blew a 28-3 lead.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Dang, I should have started with that one, huh?
That was pretty easy.
That's a 100 question, guys.
They also didn't win the Super Bowl, just to be clear.
There are Super Bowl related questions, guys. All right.
Super Bowl winners 400.
Okay. This team defeated New England in 1986 by a score of 46-10.
Chicago Bears.
That is correct.
Yeah, we're done.
We were cooked. We were cooked. if you
We're
would
set
not
up
get
for
that.
Super Bowl winners 500.
All right. This player was crowned Super Bowl MVP in Super Bowl 50.
Super Bowl 50. Is that Von Miller?
That is Von Miller. All right, Josh. Keep it
All right.
rolling.
Let's go draft for 100.
A career cut short was drafted first overall to the Colts in 2012.
Andrew Luck.
That is correct. Get you your points first, and then there we go.
Do random for 300.
All right. You're going to like this question. This player lost a couple fingers when playing with firecrackers.
Pierre Paul.
Yes. Yes, that is correct.
Isn't that your boy?
I'll
Yeah.
never forget that. I'll never forget that one. I'll just pick that.
All right, random 400.
This Steelers QB was nicknamed the Blonde Bomber.
This is disgusting.
Bro, I made this like 2 weeks ago.
I'm going to go with Terry Bradshaw.
That is correct.
All right. I like this game.
When he asked who our special guest should be, I should have brought Zeke, my
Yeah.
1-year-old child.
Give us a little bit better. of a
Gave us
chance.
an advantage.
Let's go college to the NFL for 100.
All right. This head coach went from OSU to Jacksonville.
Urban Meyer.
That's correct.
College to NFL 200.
I'm gonna have to go flawless.
He first played at Texas Tech, then won a Heisman with Mark Andrews at Oklahoma.
You know, I honestly don't know the answer to this question. I'm going to say Baker Mayfield.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's a good shot. That's what I was gonna guess. I didn't know either though.
Well, Texas Tech is what threw me off. I didn't know he played.
That's
at
why I threw it
Texas
in
Tech.
there.
Yeah. Let's go random 500.
This kicker holds the longest kick in NFL history, so I need the kicker and the yardage.
Well, it's Justin Tucker,
Mm-hmm.
67 yards.
Incorrect.
It's your turn, Nate. It's our chance, man, to not look like some scrubs.
I'm trying to think. I'm gonna say Justin Tucker, 63 yards.
Correct.
Let's go.
Incorrect.
Oh,
It's 66.
Yep, it was 66.
that was my chance.
That
GG's.
was the one.
You cooked.
Does that mean it's your board, or is it back to Nate? I think it's back to Nate.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
that's back
Nate.
to me.
All right.
It's Nate.
Also, maybe I'm not cooked. All right. Awards 100. We got to get into it.
You gotta be positive.
Zero.
This QB holds the most MVPs.
Hold on.
We're not trivia podcast.
The awards section, I would say, was probably the hardest category.
The most MVPs.
Mm-hmm. You need a guess, Nate.
I don't know.
I need a guess.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, it is correct.
Look at that.
I feel like we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I just completely blanked right there.
We always forget about Peyton Manning, though. He's kind of forgettable. It's kind of sad.
Hey, that goes back to his talking point at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
You said awards was tough, so
The
let's
awards
go.
Stay away from that.
Let's go to draft 200.
The first running back taken in 2023.
Bijan Robinson.
That is correct.
Draft 300.
Draft
Hopefully
300.
These are all reasonable.
Eli Manning was first selected to this team draft night and requested a trade to the Giants.
What is the San Diego Chargers?
That is correct. I just put Chargers just to be safe.
Okay. Nice guy.
Nice guy here. Don't want to confuse anyone.
Draft for 400.
Okay. This college has produced the most NFL picks in history.
In history, so we're thinking it's a long time.
Yep.
So I can't necessarily just rule in recent domination of drafts.
I'm glad you're talking us through it.
think I got it.
So, real quick, so we got a pile right here. We got Bama, Ohio State.
They're in a pile.
You got a pile of them.
Like socks on the ground.
Maybe
keeps it
some-
football
Maybe a
related,
team
at
like
least.
Florida. Florida probably produced a lot.
All right, well,
What pile?
I need
But
a
you can
guess.
give me a shot clock. That's all right.
All
I
right.
just gotta think this through.
7 seconds.
And then
6, 5, 4, 3,
Georgia's also kind
2,
of a potential.
1.
What is Alabama?
That is incorrect.
Yeah, I figured.
This is Michigan.
That is also incorrect.
It is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either, so I'm gonna guess Ohio State.
That is also incorrect. It is Notre Dame.
I hate that school. So we're good. I mean, I would have never guessed that because I would have never given them props.
Most of their draft picks happened during the war, so
Yeah.
you wouldn't know that anyway.
All right, Dom, you're on the board.
Hey,
At least we're all
I'm
positive.
at 0. Yep.
We're all positive.
Yep.
Hey, you see us? All right, college NFL for 300.
All right. This Super Bowl winning head coach spent 9 seasons at USC, winning
Pete
2
Carroll.
nap. Okay, there we go. Didn't even let me get through it.
I'm just
I
picking all the
respect
worst
it.
questions, huh?
College NFL for 400.
This one hits home. Rasheed Rice is in this college located in Texas.
Gosh darn it, bro. Why am I acting like a draft expert? I always talk about how much I don't like college football. Oh, it's SMU.
It is
I
SMU.
didn't even know that was in Texas, to be honest with you.
It's SMU, yep. All right. It's my chance, man. Don't fumble the bag. He said awards is hard. It's scaring me. It's scaring me.
So that
But,
has the most questions left.
yeah, I'm going to go awards for 200.
The 2022 Coach of the Year. So this was last year, not this current year.
Oh, just last year's Coach of the Year.
Yep.
It was, why am I drawing a blank? It was, Sirianni.
It's incorrect.
I don't pay attention to the awards, so I don't know.
And you guys can give a guess. Nate, this could be the redemption right here.
I don't
We
know.
had a
if it
great
can be.
season in 2022 that would have been out of nowhere. I thought it would have been Sirianni too. I don't know, Andy Reid.
Incorrect. I feel like I might have to give you a hint, Nate, because I'm
No.
seeing down there.
There's like one name, but I don't know if they finished good enough for him to get that award. But they did do a lot better than the place that they're in. Who is Dan Campbell?
That is incorrect. It's a good guess. He was a finalist, and so was Sirianni. But it is Triangle Bowl.
Bro, I forgot about
I forgot the
that.
Giants even made the playoffs.
So
in
that was
2017.
your question, right, Dom?
Yep.
Yeah.
Josh, the board is yours.
Draft 500.
This is probably the hardest question of the game. Mike Evans was selected to round blank, pick blank, in 2014 to the Buccaneers.
What?
It's a 500 question.
Okay. Well, he was, I don't know, the first round pick. I know I wanted him to go to the Steelers, so I'm going to say pick 13.
It's incorrect. That's a good guess, though.
So who was selected in 2014? So that was like
We ain't got time for that,
got a
bro.
pile over here.
He said
You got a
Justin
pile.
Blackman.
that was the Khalil Mack. That was the Khalil Mack draft.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think who. I don't even think Evans was the number 1 ranked wide receiver coming out of the draft. So I'm gonna go round 1.
He was the number 1.
Oh, maybe it was. All right. Let's go round 1. Selection overall number 6.
That's incorrect.
So you know it's close to 6.
I know, or maybe he's like making this even trickier. Well, I'm gonna go with 7.
It is correct.
Bruh. All right, that face gave it away, but it's cool. I'll take it. I'll take my wins when I get them.
All right.
All
I
right,
gotta
Dom
go
took the
flawless.
lead.
It's your board though, Nate.
I gotta go flawless. There's no more excuses. Let's go awards 300.
2020 Defensive Player of the Year.
Who is Aaron Donald?
That is correct,
Because
Nate.
he dominated for like 3 years in a row and got snubbed out of one of them. Let's go awards 400.
The last non-QB MVP, regular season MVP, and the last non-QB Super Bowl MVP.
Who is Lawrence Taylor and who is Von Miller?
That is incorrect.
Wait.
It's Damian Tomlinson and Cooper Kupp.
Incorrect.
Yeah, will Damian Tomlinson win the MVP?
With Danian Tomlinson and it was the dude from the Saints, the corner, but I can't remember his name.
I already know who it is.
Incorrect.
I'm gonna lose my mind. It was. Can I say it?
Yeah.
It was Julian Edelman, wasn't it? for the Super
No,
Bowl?
no,
No.
no. It was Adrian Peterson and Cooper Kupp.
Oh, 2012.
I forgot my boy, man. I forgot my boy. The reason I'm a Vikings fan, I forgot
I
about
didn't
him.
even know Cooper Kupp won MVP of that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I knew that, but
I turned that shit off right after it was over. Went and cried in my room. That's a true story.
He cooked Eli Apple. All right.
all right, man. College and NFL for 500.
Lawrence Taylor attended this ACC school.
You know how many times I've had him in a Madden, and I've never looked at what college he went to.
It can't be one of the good ones. Like, it just can't be. This wouldn't be this hard. But he is old. I'm gonna go with
What school did the most cocaine? Is what you should do.
I'm gonna go with North Carolina.
That is correct.
Wow.
Good.
It's a game. I'm glad I could spectate, guys.
No, I can't lose, bub.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, awards
Well,
500.
Oh, you
no,
could.
You could.
You
You could
could.
get it wrong, and Josh could get it right.
Oh shoot,
No
Awards.
pressure.
Awards for 500.
let's do it.
The 2011 Rookie of the Year.
2011. All right.
Just
It's a random
All right.
year. 2011.
2011, baby. Oh, I remember that like it was yesterday. I was only 10. I don't know, bro.
This was arguably one of the best draft classes of ever. You got AJ Green. You got Von
All right,
Miller.
bro. All right, bro. Though, give me the answer because I
just
might
saying.
guess it.
Is this offense or defense?
Offense.
Oh, it is.
Offense.
Oh, yeah, because
Should have clarified. My apologies.
it is offense. Okay. So that narrows it down to absolutely nobody for me. But I'm gonna go with I don't know. He said it, so AJ Green. I don't know.
What?
No, it's Josh's turn.
Oh, yeah, it is Josh's turn.
Yeah, this is it for all the marbles.
2011.
I'm not gonna lie, if it's not AJ Green, I was kind of cooked because that was kind of my selection.
I don't even remember who the Steelers drafted in 2011.
The crazy thing is it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
2011. In the NFL, 4 years ago feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
We're also like 9 years old, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was busting them around a soccer game. 2011.
But you gotta think it's the rookie though, so like
Yeah, that's what he's thinking.
it's not
couldn't
like Drew
think.
Brees because
Yeah. That's-
because he was a rookie in 1977.
Yeah.
Shoot, I don't know. I don't even have a guess.
There's
AJ Green. There was 2 big wide receivers. Julio Jones.
it's a good guess, but that's incorrect.
Dang, those are who I had.
Don't be negative, Nate.
I don't think it was a quarterback because I don't think this was a great quarterback class. It was like everything other than
I feel
quarterback.
like wide receivers were real high that year.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm about to look up the 2011 rookie class just to see.
It was stacked.
2011.
Man, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank after those two went off the board. How about I just give you the defensive and we'll just rock with whatever.
If you get the defensive, I guess I'll put you at 0. I'll make that deal with
Who
you.
is Von Miller?
That is correct.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I have
offensive,
no
you guys are
idea.
about to be kicking yourselves.
is it Peterson.
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Dang.
Cam Newton.
Yeah. So with our final score being Dom in the lead with 1,600, Josh in second place with 1,500, and Nate, we're gonna give him we're gonna give him 0.
Yep.
We'll edit it.
Just pretend there's a 0 right there.
Nobody was negative. Josh came in strong. It really just came down to them hard questions. I
Yeah.
got lucky with a couple guesses. It was fun though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed.
I'm brushing up. I'll be a Jeopardy master in no time. Well, thanks for joining us, y'all. Check us out on socials, all that, man. We've been posting like every day, so check us out TikTok, Instagram, all that. Thanks, Josh, for joining us. It was real, y'all. Peace.